Comic book fans, and welcome to another price variance show. It's a Monday, so it's the price variance. And today, Alan and I are doing Flip, Forget, Collect on the trending 20 comics on Key Collector. Okay, head over to Alan's site when you've finished watching my show to watch us do the first 10 on Alan's show. Some interesting comics there. Alan's got an interesting take on them as usual. But we're going to do, I think we're going to count down from 10 to 1 here on my channel. So I'm going to share with you the screen. There we go. So this was the first, these are the ones we did on Alan's channel. And the first one I'm going to talk about on my channel is this one, which is Avengers #9. This is a Silver Age comic. It's the first appearance and death of Wonder Man, who is later resurrected. It's an interesting story. This is hot because it's back on the list. Actually, we had an announcement about a Wonder Man series a couple of months ago, but there's been more news. We've had casting for this. I believe that Wonder Man is going to be of a different racial origin.
Yeah, as always.
Alan loves that. He just loves this when this sort of thing happens. And also we've got his agent. He's Hollywood in the movie. He's in Hollywood. He's a Hollywood actor, and his agent has been cast, who's a great actor, who's was in Breaking Bad and the lead actor in Take It to Saul. So that's why this is back on the list. Wonder Man. What do you think, Alan?
This is a blue chip book, in my opinion.
Yeah.
It's obviously a character that comic collectors knew about. It just that the general audience never knew about it. Like, the non-comic geeks never knew about it. Well, if they have a show about him, if they have a show where they'll probably introduce him, then they'll have movies that will reinforce the character. It's going to be one that's another common name, like, that people will know. So I think it'll only further enhance its blue chip status, in my opinion. So this is a definite collect for me.
Yeah, I mean, this is lovely. I mean, the story of Wonder Man is just so horrendously complex. I mean, he's a millionaire industrialist. His brother goes off the rails. His business goes out of business because of Stark Industries. His brother becomes the Grim Reaper, believe it or not. Wonder Man gets killed off because DC objected and said, well, we've got Wonder Woman. We don't like you having Wonder Man. Stanley at the time said, fair enough, we'll kill him off. Then sometime down the time scale, DC brought in, was it Power Girl? And Marvel said, hang on a minute, we've got Power Man. And DC said, well, tough. So Marvel said, fine, we're going to bring back Wonder Man then. So he gets killed. His mind, I think, is used to create vision. So it's horrendously complicated, and then Vision is really Wonder Man, and Wonder Man is really Vision, and
it's all messed up.
So then we get into some horrible threesome situation with the Scarlet Witch, who loves them both. It's like a soap opera.
I think that's another reason why I think this is a great character, because of all that kind of craziness of his story. He's going to be a character they can use to bring back Wanda. Everybody liked Wanda, Scarlet Witch. He's a great character to bring her back. He's a great character to bring back Vision. He's a great character for so many things. Even Kang, we could use him in some way with Kang. There's just so many things that could be done with this character. He's like sort of like the glue for so many storylines.
Yeah, and he's flawed as well. He doesn't like he falls out of love of being a superhero.
Hmm.
You know, he gets
And
into all
yeah,
sorts of conflicts about it, about whether they're doing good or bad, and so he drops the whole thing and goes off to be an actor in Hollywood.
yeah.
You know, he's a bit more interesting. You know, he's flawed, and I mean, he is immensely powerful. I think he's
Mhm.
immortal as well. But anyway, don't ask me how he got killed when he's immortal. Anyway, it's comics, guys.
Yeah, it's comics. Yeah.
Yeah, for me,
So,
I haven't got this, as you can see here. You know, even a high grade raw is going to cost you over $1,000. So
yeah, I
I
picked this
have
up
got
pretty
this.
cheaply, by the way.
I've got two copies of Marvel UK version of this. Um,
Okay.
one of which I'm sending off to my mate Kyle for his birthday,
Hmm. Oh,
because
nice of you.
Wonder Man is his favorite Avengers, as his favorite characters actually. So
Hmm.
I still have a copy of the UK version. I think I'm going to stick with my copy of the UK version of this, because
So
it's,
is that the reprint or is that
yeah, it's a UK reprint. Marvel UK Avengers. I think
okay.
it's strangely it's Marvel UK Avengers number 7 or 8. I think. Don't ask me why. It's
Oh,
a different
that's really
number.
weird. So I
Um,
have this book, like the American version of it, of course.
yeah,
But
yeah.
yeah,
So
very
that's a
cool.
collect for me. But
Collects for me too.
yeah. Okay, next up, Micronauts #1. What the hell is
Yeah.
this doing on here? First team
Yeah.
appearance of Micronauts. Arcturus, Ran, Bug, Acroyear, Marionettes, Biotron, and Microtron. This was based off a toy series, wasn't it?
Yeah, yeah, it was based on a
First,
toy series, and that was the problem with it. Like Hasbro owned the rights to this book, not the rights to the name Micronauts, and that was the whole problem where they couldn't do anything with it because of the fact that they'd have to go through Hasbro.
yeah, there's been all sorts of rights issues about this. It says here,
Hmm.
September 2019, Paramount announced a movie is in development with director of How to Train Your Dragon. Why this has gone
Hmm.
up, I don't know.
I do know.
Oh, why has it gone up?
So what they're thinking is going to happen, and Marvel tries to do this, like the name Micronauts they can't use, but they can use some of the characters from the book.
Oh, they
Okay,
own
because they are
Bug, don't they?
and they're like really tiny, right?
Yeah,
So like what they're planning, what they're thinking that's going to happen. This is the spec. I'm not sure if it's like a valid spec or not, but the spec is that Quantum Mania, everything's really small. Well, these guys are small. so they show that there's going to be lots of characters in Quantum Mania. Well, these maybe they'll introduce a few of the characters from Micronauts,
oh, okay. All right,
and
fine.
that's the spec.
I mean, this is dirt cheap.
Yeah, the funny thing is I have two copies of this book. Um, this is a book where like it's I think a bit undervalued personally. It's
I
like
picked
one
up
of
a 9.8 graded version of this last year for $30.
yeah, yeah, that's crazy. That's better than I did. I have like a nine something or other, but it's not 9.8. But I paid more than $30 for it.
Yeah.
I think I paid like 50. So, um, but yeah, 9.8 would be better. Yeah, I think this one's underrated, personally, but and I think it's a collectible too because it's for a lot of people it's nostalgia. They love the Micronauts.
And some of the covers are really good. The cover artwork on the first series is, I think it's Mike Golden, and there's some really good
Mhm.
covers. I don't really understand why this has been.
Such a cheap book.
Yeah,
But maybe it was heavily printed. It's one of those things where that could be the case, right? So
yeah,
I think this one is really undervalued personally, and I think if anything comes out that kind of justifies it, it'll go up in value.
yeah. So I think it's a collect. Well, I have collected it. So yes,
Yeah, so have I. So I have two copies of it. So
yeah, I've got a graded and ungraded as well.
yeah,
Okay, Alan, I know
and
you've got this. I missed out
I
on
love
getting
this book.
this. I know you do. Uh, So this is the first appearance. This is Darth Vader 20 variant edition. We got the Mandalorian and Baby Yoda. First cover appearance. Grogu.
Yeah, so I have three copies of this. I gave one to my son and one to my daughter because they all love Grogu. Um, I think, this book is a long-term spec. In terms of like, I would collect it personally because I'm a Star Wars guy anyways. And this series has been one of the shining lights in the whole Star Wars franchise for the last 10 years. Like it's been pretty abysmal for like the last 10 years or so. But The Mandalorian sort of re-energized the fans. And these two characters, having them on the cover like this for the first time, is kind of, you know, nostalgia. It's going to be like one of those things that people will love and, want to have in their collections. So I think even when this book came out, it was a $15 book day
Yeah, it did.
one.
It was one of those that came out and immediately went
Yeah.
up.
And it was like, you know, I think I got my copies. I even paid more than cover price. I think I paid $10 a piece for my copies. But I saw it immediately, $15 up. So I definitely think this is a book to have in the collection for collector reasons. Um, this is a book where you can flip it. If you're a flipper, you can anytime the new series of Mandalorian comes out, you can flip the book.
Yeah.
And so it's you have multiple opportunities because I think it's a
You can do a
series where
triple
they'll
flip.
yeah, exactly. Yeah. So it's one of those ones where I think you can flip it when the next Mandalorian comes out. You can flip it again when the next Mandalorian comes out. You know what I mean? It's going to be a series that they'll do more of. So yeah, I think it's definitely a book that is a good one.
Right, next up, I think this is I haven't got it because it's a Turtles comic and I refuse to buy
I have it right
Turtles.
behind me, actually, strangely.
Yeah, but it got really good reviews. My
Mhm.
hairdresser was recommending this to me this week when I went.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he's a comic. He's a sort of bit of a geek. Hi Simon, if you're watching. So he was recommending this Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, The Last Ronin. Nice cover.
Yeah, it's a very cool book. It's actually not comic size. It's slightly bigger.
Oh, is it
I'm
okay?
pretty sure. Like I have it behind me, but yeah, that book. And actually, this is something where it's not just this book. Um, IDW has brought back the Ninja Turtles, right?
Yeah.
They have their run of Ninja Turtles. I would recommend not just buy this book, but buy like other IDW keys, from their turtles. They're doing a really good job of making interesting stories for the Ninja Turtles. So I think, if you can get like, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles #1 from IDW, and the others, like there's like a few in the 90s that are key books with Jenica. And, so there's a bunch of cool books all within the IDW line that I would recommend. I would just say, they're writing good stories. They're doing a good job to the characters. This last Ronin thing was a very popular run. It was one of those ones that came out during the COVID kind of mess up in terms of like stuff coming out. And it was very like people wanted to order it, but it had a very a lot of people couldn't get a copy of it.
Well, it says
So
here, Lost Ronin issue 1 had led to a reported print run of 130,000
30,
copies, a massive
yeah,
number by modern and independent standards.
yeah, yeah, it is. But if you think about that, a big print run is like 200 to 500,000.
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
Um, this is still under that. Like I think it's not underprinted. There's a lot of them out there, but a lot of collectors didn't pick it up, didn't get it. I remember at my LCS, like I actually wanted this book, and they couldn't provide it because there was like some issues with distribution. Um, so I definitely think this is one that there's a huge demand for, and there's lots of people that collect turtles. So, even though there's 130,000 copies out there, I think it's still one that's got potential to go up even.
Okay. For me, it's a forget, but that's just simply because it's me and I refuse to collect turtles. Right.
Yeah, but underrated in a way.
Yeah, but
I,
Alan's a collector.
IDW.
Yeah.
True.
Okay.
Omega Man 3.
Amiga Men 3. So, Alan, well, I had this. I've got two copies of this that I bought new in 1983 when I was nothing but a wee whippersnapper.
Hmm.
It's been sat in my comic collection. I've been waiting for Lobo to appear on the some form of screen for about 30 years, and he still hasn't. But
Yeah.
James Gunn is now the Kevin Feige of DC, and Lobo is just the type of character he would do well, which is why this has gone up.
Yeah, he is perfect for James Gunn.
Yeah.
Um, you know, this is yeah, this is so him. I definitely think this is a character that he'll do something with. It's just the right timing. He's yeah, I think he's perfect. This book has always been underrated as well.
Yeah.
You could pick this book up. Like I think I paid $50 for mine, and
Yeah.
mine's a 9.4. It's not like a super
No.
high grade, but still, it's almost the cost of slabbing it that I paid for it. So, it's always been underrated.
And I love this
Uh,
cover. This is, the colors on this cover and the sort of light appearing between this woman's legs. I
I
think
know it's really funny.
it's a fantastic cover. For me, this is a collect.
Yeah. I would not just pick this one up. I'd pick other Lobo kind of cool books.
Oh yeah, definitely. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
So
Um,
yeah. So
there's a great one called Lobo's Back, which the cover is a picture of Lobo's back, and he's wearing lingerie.
yeah. It's pretty over the top. Yeah, I saw that one. You showed that on one of our previous
I did,
videos.
yeah.
Yeah, I thought that was funny.
Yeah, I'm a big
Um,
Lobo fan. Hope James Gunn does Lobo. Right. Next
yeah.
up, we have got Avengers 181. It's the first appearance of Scott Lang, who later becomes a second Ant-Man. So I think we had, yeah, well, we'll wait for a second because I think we're going to see another one of these. But this is the first appearance of Scott Lang, apparently. I haven't got this. Nice cover.
Yeah, I never understood this book in a way because it's like it is the first appearance of Scott Lang. He's not in suit
No, he's not
in this
Ant-Man.
one.
This is him as
This
Scott Lang.
yeah, this is the weird thing. So, it kind of goes back to the original Ant-Man, where you got Tales to Astonish 27 and
Yeah,
Tales to Astonish 35.
that's right.
The
Yeah.
first one, he's not in suit, and then
No, he's
the
just a man
second
who
one,
goes down an anthill.
yeah. So it's kind of weird. So this is kind of the same idea where I don't know why they do this with Ant-Man, where they first introduce the character, then they show him in suit in the next one. Yeah. And the covers are very similar in a way. For the second ones. I think this is a great book. I bought this as a collect way back when. Um, so yeah,
Yeah, I
I always
haven't
thought
got
this book
this.
was underrated.
And I quite like the
Really?
cover. 7 of you will remain as Avengers. The rest of you are out.
Yeah, it's a kind of a cool cover.
It's a cool cover. I quite like that.
I
I,
never
I,
understood why this book was such a affordable book in the first place because it's like Scott Lang is in the movies. He's been in like a lot of movies. It should be a good book.
yeah, and it's not, you can pick up a decent mid-grade copy.
Yeah, I don't know if those prices are that accurate. Like I guess it's based on recent sales,
Yeah,
but
it
I
is.
don't.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, you know, I don't. I think it's more like a $200 book from
Okay,
what I remember.
okay. Next up, and we're getting gradually more.
So
Uh,
this is Shiri.
yeah, this is the first appearance of Shuri, Black Panther 2.
Mhm.
Yeah, so we know why this is going up. When is Wakanda Forever out next week?
Yeah, it's
The
either
11th?
next week. Yeah, yeah, yeah. But I think there's been pre-screenings that are already happening now.
Yes, that's right. Yeah.
Um, so yeah, so some people have watched this, and that actually might impact other spec that it's on this list. So, which would be interesting. Um, Full disclosure, I'm bidding on this book as we speak.
Okay.
So I'm
In a
trying to,
graded version.
yeah, I'm trying to get it. I actually put in the best offer for this book, for a 9.8, for 250.
Okay, well that sounds reasonable to me. If you get it for that, I think you've got a deal.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. This is like in a 9.8, it's usually like a $350. Like
Yeah,
it's come down. This book has actually come down.
yeah, yeah,
So it used to be around 350, 400 range for a 9.8.
yeah.
I'm hoping to pick it up for about 250.
I picked this up maybe 2 years ago. I didn't know what it was. I
Oh,
paid
wow.
I paid
And how much did you pay
I
for
think I
it?
paid about 10 quid for it.
Nice. In a high
And
grade?
I was collecting Black Panther. I had no idea that it was the first Shuri.
Yeah.
It's a high grade. Yeah.
Nice. Nice. It's a book that I actually wanted for a while, to tell you the truth. Like I knew that they were going to use Shuri or M'Baku for the next Black Panther. I knew it was one of the two. And we've known that for maybe 2 years now.
Yeah, that's right.
It's like, so yeah, now the recent trailer showed, like, the
Yeah, they
recent
showed
trailer,
her in costume.
yeah,
It's obviously
it's,
Shuri.
at this point we know it's not, there's no spec here. But strangely, this book has come down. What I think's happening is people like, there's like when I, even though I'm, as I said, I already putting an offer in on it. Um, there's like a lot of copies on the census. There's over 2,000 copies on the census or something
Okay, so
crazy.
it's not a rare book.
It's not that rare of a book. I think what's happening is people are flooding the market trying to flip this book now. So I would say this is actually, even though I'm buying it, I'm literally buying it, I'm actually saying forget it.
Right. We're not going to believe you, Alan. If you're actively just bidding for this, then that is not a forget. So,
Yeah, so no, but I
and
mean,
all you're trying to do is persuade people not to compete against you on the one that you're
well,
buying.
what I'm saying is, like, I'm probably buying it at the worst time. You can probably pick it up 6 months from now and it'll be cheaper because all the spec hype and the movie hype will be over. And what's happening right now is people are flooding the market right now. And it's only going to get worse in the future where everyone realizes that the spec has failed. So probably I'm buying it at the worst time. I always do that. I'm one of those
No,
lame
we
people
know you're not telling
buy
the
at the
truth
wrong.
there. You've just told us of a number of these that you've bought at exactly the right time. Okay,
Yeah.
so we're gonna. I'm a forget, but I'm not actively trying to buy one, so you can believe me. And
Just don't bid
I,
against me. Okay.
and my forget is purely on exactly what Alan said. I think if you leave this 6 months, you'll get it cheaper than you can buy it for now.
That's what I was saying. Just
Right.
do what I say, don't do what I do.
Yeah. Okay. Next up, Mandalorian #5, variant cover by E.M. Gist. Is this a new comic? Yes, this is out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would forget it before I'd even remembered it.
Yeah. No, sorry. I'm not paying $60 for a comic that just came out.
Exactly.
Okay, so that
So
was
this
easy.
one,
We're both forget on that.
total forget for me. I don't even remember it. How bad it
We're
is.
moving quickly on from that one because we both agree. Alan is not currently trying to bid for this one on some site. Okay.
And
Strange
this is a
Academy,
Peach Momoko one.
a Peach Momoko. It's a Strange Academy Finals one. It's a variant cover. And again, this is another new comic. This is even more expensive. So I'm not going to be buying this for $90.
This
There's
is a
plenty.
forget for me as well. I think it's an okay cover. I don't think it's brilliant. I do like Magic though. The reason this is hot, just so you know, was there was a convention where Peach Momoko was doing signings, and it
Yes.
was complete kerfuffle. Peach Momoko wasn't the problem. She was great. She was like doing signatures for free.
Yeah.
But basically, what happened was a whole bunch of influencers cut the line. So they got their books signed first, and all the real fans got screwed over.
Oh, and there was a
People,
fight broke out, I think.
yeah. So people were really upset. There was this massive line, and people couldn't get their books signed. It was a total mess.
Yeah.
And Peach Momoko actually had to leave
Yeah.
because it just was such a mess.
Yeah.
She was
Disgraceful.
trying to do her best, and the fans really understood that she was trying to do her best.
Yeah.
I think what's happening right now is people are kind of pumping this book because they want to pay respects to her.
Okay.
Well, that's not a great reason to buy a book. So this book is,
and if
really
you want to have a more civilized audience, a queue when you're queuing for your comics, you need to come to Harrogate in Yorkshire, where us Brits know how to queue without fighting.
Oh, really?
No queue barging. We if somebody jumps in the queue, we don't hit them with our fists. We just stare at them and are sarcastic at them. So
okay,
yeah.
but you don't go all like. I think there's something with football that you guys do, or that I always hear like a whole bunch of people
football fans and comic collectors are a different strata of society.
Okay. So yeah. So don't bring football fans to a comic convention. Okay.
And finally, we have got
gargoyles.
Gargoyles. Diamond Distributors retailer exclusive given away to comic shop owners at the 2022 Baltimore Comic Con. This is just as expensive as the Strange Academy one.
It's also about the same price as the first appearance. It's kind of crazy. That's a bit much.
It's the Ashcan edition.
Yeah.
It's a nice cover.
Yeah, it's cool. It's very nostalgic. I love the show when I was.
Yeah, I know you do. I can see Allan getting this at some stage, but I think he's going to wait 6 months.
I'll wait on it. Yeah, this is for me right now. It's a forget.
Sorry. Yeah, these bottom three here are all. Do not go out, and it's FOMO. Oh my goodness, it's going up. I've got to buy it now because it will be $180 next week. Yeah, but in 6 months' time, it'll be $20.
There's nothing key about it. It's an ash can.
Well, it's a number one.
It's not even a number. Well, it's a number one of the latest series.
Yeah.
The first series, sure, buy that because they're gonna bring back the gargoyles. They're actively creating the series.
Yeah, go and spend your money on a original Gargoyles number one. I'm not sure how much that will cost you.
And that book has actually come down. It was kind of overly hot for a while, and then it's come back down. I'd buy that over this book a million times over. Yeah.
Okay, guys, that I think is the end of the trending 20 list from Key Collector Comics. That was our Allan and myself's view on those comics. I hope you found that interesting. Say goodbye, Allan.
Goodbye, Allan.
And that's it for this week. See you again next week. Bye.